I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through. I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go. The only thing that I know, you were my gravity, but now I had to leave. I will let you go. Why do you think that I want? Why do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity. 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 I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not.
Warning: the Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to the coverage of the NNSCRA Duracell Ultra Lite Series Season 2 as we gear up for race number 18, third to last race of the regular season. The playoffs are fast approaching. It is road course racing here this weekend as is doubleheader with both the Lights and the Cup Series drivers in upstate New York at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. Last opportunity for all the road course aces to find themselves into a playoff position, whether it's through a win or a maximum points day to get up into the top 7 in overall points. Things super congested around that wild card position and those final few spots inside the top 7, as so far in the past 17 races we have had 16 different drivers go to victory circle. The latest of those last week at Homestead Miami Speedway being Nathan Fogler. The battle for the overall points lead, that regular season championship, continues to heat up as we had an exchange for the points lead after last week. And of course as well, got a lot of drivers that are going to be taking part in doing the double here this weekend, the Lights and the Cup Series race. And of course a lot of those drivers looking for that extra track time here at the Glen as they're fighting for a spot in this season's Cup Series playoffs. So a lot of stuff to keep track of here during the course of this weekend. But we first got to find out who's going to capture the pole position here. And due to the fact that it is a road course configuration and not just a short track or a mile and a half racetrack, these drivers have been given an extra allotted amount of time. They will be allowed 15 minutes here in qualifying both today and tomorrow in the Cup Series race in order to have ample enough time to be able to set down a good up-to-speed lap. We're cycled back here to the 93 of Jackson Haywood. He was the first driver off of pit road. He's now up to speed, hit the stripe, and his first timed lap will begin. May not be the best timed lap for him as unfortunately Skylar Taylor comes out right in front of him, so he's not going to necessarily have clean air and be able to drive as deep into these corners as he wants to. Might on a couple of these straightaways get some draft, get a little toe, but I don't think that's going to help out the lap time all that much. I say we'll actually try and get to the inside of Skylar Taylor here. Taylor's going to be coming around to take the green flag for his first time lap, and you saw the 93 get up on the curb. This is not going to be an optimal first lap for the Wix Filters Ford Mustang out of KB Racing Enterprises, as he'll hit the stripe and a 1:16.245. Yeah, that's about 2 seconds slower than what a driver should pretty much be putting down on their first lap. As you can see, Roberto Crown Jr. is already clocked in with a 1:14. Actually, correction, this is actually not updated yet. We got to wait for the actual updated times to come in here. Looks like Eric Sadler clocked in with a 1:14, as did Sean Galligan. We do have a number of drivers from the Cup Series taking part here in this Light Series race this weekend. This being one of them, Eric Sadler in the Bishop Family Racing All-Star car. Eric Sadler, of course, going to be pulling off the double. We'll see him on Sunday in the Cup Series race. Daniel Voiles, of course, running full-time in both series, though not running for Lite's points. And we'll see if we can find another one of the drivers that I think is going to be a key player in tomorrow afternoon's race here. That is Nick Gunther in the All-Star car out of Garage 55 this weekend. Battling there with Nathan Stapleton. Stapleton, a former winner this season, currently finds himself 13th in points, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe he is coming in as the final driver in a wild card position. But he's got Skylar Taylor, Wes McCoy, Michael Turner all right behind him in terms of points positioning. All with a win, all fighting for that final wild card spot. As right now, Eric Sadler still sits top of the board. He's actually broken into the 113s, 113.766. So good laps in the early going out of that Bishop Family Racing All-Star car. Roberto Crown Jr., the new points leader coming into this weekend after Cam Wright Jr. just could not find track position last week at Homestead, Miami. Roberto Crown Jr. with a solid run now holds 19 points in hand over Cam Wright Jr. And of course, let's bear in mind, you win the regular season championship, you get 15 bonus points towards the playoffs. So with only 3 races remaining, Roberto Crown Jr. trying to close out that deal. 15 bonus points pretty much equates to 3 trips to victory lane during this regular season. So with a win already in the bank, Roberto Crown Jr. could be going into the playoffs with as many as 20 bonus points. But again, Roberto Crown Jr. could find an issue here this week at Watkins Glen. Cam Wright Jr. could close that gap right back up. And mathematically, you cannot count out Colin Grace or Kyle Langland, 33 and 39 points back either. 3 races, still plenty of time to work with to get up into the hunt for the regular season championship. As a little contact exchanged right there between Dave Smith and Roberto Crown Jr. as they make their way into the heavy braking zone, right-hand turn 1. Bryce Egan's in the All-Star car for Trackhouse Racing here this week. We'll see him tomorrow afternoon attempting to qualify for the Cup Series race as well. I believe that, from what I've been told, this is going to be the largest group of drivers we've had in a while attempting to qualify for 2 coveted spots in the Cup Series race this weekend. I believe I've been told we have 8 drivers that have shown up here in Watkins Glen in an attempt to qualify for the show. There it's Cam Wright Jr. Lost the points lead last week. Now second in points. The only 2-time winner on the season. Really the only driver right now. Things could change by the time we get the checkered flag here at the Glen this weekend. That is guaranteed he will be battling in the playoffs because of having 2 wins on the season. If he were to drop out of the top 7 in points, mathematically he cannot drop out of the top 30 in points, and his 2 victories would put him at least in a high-seeded wild card spot. So he's the only driver coming into this weekend that we know will be in the playoffs. We still have to wait for the mathematics for Roberto Crown Jr., Colin Grace, other drivers here as we get closer towards the end of this regular season. We've had 16 different drivers go to victory lane, and there are a number of drivers just hovering outside the top 7 in points that have yet to go to victory lane that I think we need to keep an eye on here this weekend. Autumn Brooks being one of them. I think you also need to look at Jackson Haywood. I think you got to keep an eye on Eli Bright. Remember, he almost closed out the victory for his first win back at the last road course we were at in Sonoma. It was definitely looking like Eli Bright had the strongest car, but he got bit on pit road strategy. Right now, he is 6th on the board. Keep an eye on some of these drivers that still have a 0 in the win column. This could be their weekend. As mentioned, 16 different drivers have gone to victory lane in the first 17 races. I don't see it outside the realm of possibility that we could have our 17th different driver here go to victory lane this weekend. David Dixon, this is an interesting one, a driver that we're going to have to keep an eye on for the wrong reasons this weekend. David Dixon was a multi-time winner last season, was definitely looking like down the home stretch he could be in the hunt for the championship. We didn't have playoffs back in Season 1. Let's remember that. This season, though, David Dixon's been up in the top 5 pretty much the entirety of the season. Found victory lane very early on at Phoenix, but the last few weeks he has struggled, and he has dropped in the point standings. Now finds himself 6th in points. He is only 5 points ahead of the 7th in the standings cut line, which currently is occupied by Jordan Anderson, but more importantly, he's only 8 points ahead of the next driver on the outside of the top 7, that being Aubrey Powell. So David Dixon, if he has another bad weekend here at Watkins Glen, he is going to really need to find something in the final 2 races at Hanford and Auto Club to have a shot at the playoffs. It's incredible how, beginning of the season, he was looking like he was going to be a lock. The win was there, the consistency was there. Now down the home stretch, David Dixon is in big, big trouble. Jordan Anderson, as mentioned, he is that cut line driver coming into this weekend, 7th in overall points. So he is looking for a good points day, maybe even a second trip to victory lane to solidify himself a spot in the postseason. A lot of pressure on this 89 team to perform this weekend because their fortunes could change for the better or the worst in a big, big way depending on their finishing position. Colin Grace, we mentioned about the fact that he's in the hunt maybe for that regular season championship if things happen to both the juniors, Roberto Crown Jr. and Cam Wright Jr. in these final 3 races. It looks like Colin Grace currently in line to start well in tomorrow's starting lineup. 7th fastest at a 113.943 for that driver out of Haas Racing. Sean Galligan, another good road course racer. Right now, though, not finding the lap time he wants. 25th on the board, a 113.320. Galligan is 17th in points coming into this race. It's interesting if you look on down through to Galligan, even down through the top 20. There are only 7 drivers in the top 20 that have not gone to victory lane. That's just how much parity there has been here in this series. Wes McCoy, former winner this season from a couple of weeks ago at Kentucky, currently outside of a playoff spot. I mean, there's a lot of drivers that are eyeing that second victory here this weekend to leapfrog all the other one-time winners that are outside of the top 7 in points. I mean, you look at a Cody Majorek, Juan Garcia, Nathan Stapleton, Skylar Taylor, who's right behind Wes McCoy. McCoy, Michael Turner, Dave Smith, Cole Koibe, Nathan Fogler, who won last week, and Craig Batson. Those drivers, if any of them go to victory lane here tomorrow, they may have just locked themselves up a spot in the playoffs. A lot of drivers think going to be eyeing this as a must-win situation. Brody Kupski, the Adrenaline Motorsports Chevrolet Camaro driver, 3rd on the board, 113.808. So looks like he'd have good starting track position as he's eyeing his first win of the season. And this driver right now would be the one to lead us to green, Eric Sadler. And that all-star car at Bishop Family Racing, 113.741. Autumn Brooks right now 2nd fastest, followed by Kupski, Craig Batson, and Kat Batson. We know Eric Sadler, he is locked into the Cup Series field via a charter, so he will be pulling the double this weekend. It'll be interesting to see if what he's learned here on the Lite side, if that transfers over to him qualifying well in Cup Series qualifying. That, of course, is going to be tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. These Lites drivers go green for their race tomorrow at 3. There's a couple of those drivers I talked about that might be eyeing this race as must-win. Former winners on the season. Majorek with the win at Iowa. Fogler with the win last week at Homestead. Both would love a second trip to victory lane to clinch at least a wild card spot. Right now, Majorek is 22nd on the board. Nathan Fogler a little bit better at 17th fastest. Another driver, a former winner that needs a second trip to victory lane, Michael Turner. He's 14th fastest right now, 114.113. for the driver out of Michael Norman Motorsports. Michael Turner, 16th in overall points, had a great run last week at Homestead as well. I believe he gained the most spots in the point standings last week. Moved from 20th to 16th, 4 positions gained. And that is a telling sign of just how close the point standings are in the mid portion of the field. If you're able to gain that many positions in the standings this late in the regular season. Ralph Mason, currently 11th fastest. I mentioned about the fact that this weekend going to be the largest amount of drivers attempting to qualify for the Cup race that we have ever had in the non-charter go or go home section. Ralph Mason going to be attempting to actually qualify for the Cup race this weekend in a 4th entry out of Garage 55. So some pretty good speed here in lights. We'll see if that translates over to the Cup side here tomorrow afternoon. I thought we'd see a lot more out of Nick Gunther in qualifying speed. Not the case. 28th fastest for the 55. That is 3rd to last. A lot of big names actually towards the bottom of the scoring pylon as zeros on the clock. Session comes to a close, and it looks like Eric Sadler, that bright pink number 16 T-Mobile Dark Horse Mustang, will be the one to be leading us to the green here tomorrow afternoon, with Autumn Brooks sharing the front row. Eric put that 113.7 down very early on in the session, and nobody was able to topple him. Autumn Brooks about 4/100ths off his lap time with a 113.7 of her own, and that pretty much established them the front row right out of the gate. Nobody else able to challenge in the 113.7s. A few drivers in the 113.8s that are going to net top 5 starting spots, but a Cup driver is going to start from the pole position, and I believe that is going to be the 4th Cup driver to capture a pole here in a Light Series race. Anthony McCurry, Bryce Egan, and RJ Bishop have all done that prior. RJ, of course, doing it in this exact same car out of the Bishop Family Racing Stables. We're just waiting for scoring to officially cease, as we've had zeros on the clock for a while here. Wait for the grid to be absolutely official here for tomorrow afternoon's race from Watkins Glen. Track position's important at a road course, and we will have to see if it translates to Eric Sadler maybe going coast to coast, as there we go. Now session is indeed concluded. Eric going to try to go pole to win. We've, as mentioned now, with Eric Sadler added to the list, had 4 Cup drivers win poles here in the Light Series this season. We've yet to have any Cup driver go to victory lane here in a Light Series race. Sadler could be the first. Autumn Brooks, great starting track position for her. She'll be on the outside of the front row. Brody Kupski, looking for his first win on the season, first win of his career, will roll off 3rd. Craig Batson, looking for his 2nd win to get a wild card spot, will be 4th. And good runs for a couple of the KB Racing Enterprises cars. His teammate Cap Batson will complete the top 5. Eli Bright, I think that's the driver we got to keep an eye on here this weekend. He ran so well, didn't get the finish that he deserved back at Sonoma. They brought another strong car here this week as he qualifies 6th. Colin Grace in 7th. 8th place for Juan Garcia. Chris Dollerton will be 9th. And Daniel Voiles is going to complete the top 10. Looking down through the remainder of the results, I was going to touch on this before we hit zeros on the clock. Some pretty big names, some drivers running well in points, not going to have good starting track position for tomorrow's race. Your top 2 in points, neither of them starting inside the top 20. Roberto Crown Jr., 23rd. Cam Wright Jr., 25th. Cole Koibe, who needs a win to get back into the wildcard conversation, 24th. Nathan Stapleton, David Dixon, Wes McCoy, some other former winners on the season, way back here in the field. And Nick Gunther, very good road course racer, starting deep in the field in 28th. So those drivers, they're going to be relying on 2 things here in tomorrow's race. Number 1, they're going to be relying on pit strategy to gain them the track position they will not have out of the gate. Number 2, they are relying on good long run cars and the ability to be able to make passes. So we'll keep an eye on that during the course of tomorrow afternoon's race. We've got Cup qualifying Cup tomorrow afternoon as well. Hope you guys will join us for that as we continue on our race weekend here from the Glen. Congratulations to Eric Sadler, his first Lights pole of his career. He'll be the one leading us to green in tomorrow afternoon's race. Hope you guys enjoyed this qualifying session. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, part of the crew today. We have shown you your starting lineup for tomorrow afternoon's race. We'll see you then. Until then, though, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV, offline racing at its best.
The following has been a presentation of NNSCRA TV for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of the NNSCRA is prohibited. NNSCRA would like to thank all of our loyal fans, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.